Greetings folks, and welcome to Marquise Technology's video tutorial series. Today I'm going to show you how to perform a reverse assemble using Rain. Also, please note that thanks to Marquise Technology's unified user interface, this video tutorial is also valid for Mist. I'm just going to start by opening a previously created project. Once the project is loaded, it's going to land directly into the library. Now, I'll need to search for the media that I'm going to use to perform the reverse assemble, so I'm just going to search for it on my system. The media is a TGA sequence, and it's the final edit for an episode from a TV series. And here we go. Here is our TGA sequence. By default, Rain displays it as a list of thumbnails. This way you can get an overview of how your sequence looks like. But right now I'm gonna display it in flat mode as a clip. And I'm gonna use the lift carry drop system to grab the clip, drag it in the library. Here I can already see that I have 8 more clips, so I'll need to organize a little bit. So I'm gonna do that by creating a new folder. And I'm gonna name it clip09. And I'm gonna drop my clip in the newly created folder. Next, we're gonna need an EDL to continue the reverse assemble process. Fortunately, we already have an EDL. It's the EDL that was used to generate this final edit here. But in order to load my EDL, I'll need to go inside the player module. And I'm gonna do that by bringing up the contextual menu by control right-clicking. This is the contextual menu where I can choose the modules. I'm going to choose the player module. And we're inside the player. And here I'm going to right-click to bring up the action menu, click load to load my EDL. Here we have an XML file. This is the EDL. It got generated using Final Cut Pro. I'll need to specify the file type, the correct file type, using the drop-down menu here. I'm going to choose Final Cut Pro XML, then select the XML file, click OK. And now Rain, it's using this EDL to generate a new composition. It's parsing the XML file and it's creating events on a timeline. It's going to take a few moments because it's the EDL for a full episode. And here we go. Now let's take a look at our timeline. Okay, so Rain generated clips based on the EDL. I'm just going to activate the event viewer. The event viewer is a visual representation of the clips on the timeline. As you can see, we have no preview, no thumbnail for the clips. That's because we didn't link our media with the EDL yet. Now let's take a look at our EDL. I'm going to bring up the action menu once again and go to Conform. Here we can see the structure of our EDL. We can clearly see that the status of our clip is set to unlinked for now. So that means that our events in the EDL are not linked to the media that we're going to use. But we're going to get to that in a few moments. What we're going to do in the Conform module here, we're going to use a few criteria to start matching our events with the media that we imported in our library. We're going to use the real name and we're going to replace it by the clip name. And after that, we're going to use the record in timecode as another matching criteria. And after that, we're going to have to set the offset, if any, between the EDL and our clip. If we take a look here on the real column, we can see the tape names and we can get a good idea on the number of tapes that were used as the source material to generate the final edit. There are quite a few. So imagine getting all this source material on your hard disk. It would occupy quite a lot of space. I just realized that I didn't look at my clip name, but it's not a problem. I can quickly switch to the library module, use the lift carry drop system to grab my clip, switch back to the player module, go back to Conform, and here for real name I just need to click on set, and it seems that my clip name is output. Now I need to select some events in the EDL, the events that I want the real name to get changed to the clip name. I can use the mouse to individually select events in the EDL, then click on set, and I can see that the real name changed to the clip name. But I want to do this for my entire edit decision list, so I'm gonna just click on select all to select my entire EDL, click on set again, and the real name changed to output for the entire edit decision list now. Next, we'll need to tell Rain where to search for our media. We already dragged the media from our system into the library, so we'll want to search for the media inside there. So I'm gonna browse to get my newly created folder, which is clip09, and I just set the location to clip09. Next is the first matching criteria, which is the real name. So for the match name, I'm gonna choose real. The next one is the record in time code for match time. So I'm gonna choose in and the origin to record. Now the last thing to take into account is the difference between the beginning of our EDL and the beginning of our media. Our EDL starts with the first event, and the first event starts with the record in time code. Now our media is a TGA sequence. That means that we don't have metadata. That means that we don't have time code, but we can consider the first frame in the TGA sequence as being the beginning of the clip, and the beginning of the clip starts at 00. So this means that my EDL starts at 8 hours and 59 minutes in, and my media starts at 00. So I have an 8 hours and 59 minutes offset between the two. For that, we're going to use the offset parameter in the Conform module, and we can see that we have a letter next to the offset. P stands for positive, and if I click on it, it's changing on N, which stands for negative. So we need to subtract 8 hours and 59 minutes so we can match the beginning of the clip with the EDL. So we're gonna leave it on negative, and I'm just gonna input the value, the record in timecode value of my first event inside the EDL. That's 8 hours, 59 minutes, and 50 seconds. And now all I need to do is click on search now, and my system is starting to search for the media, and it's starting the matching process with the edit decision list. So as you can see, reverse assemble can get very useful in a number of scenarios. One scenario is what we just did here, when you get material in a conformed state and you need to get a clip so you can start working on them. This is a very common scenario when you get material from a production house that is filming things for broadcasters. And another scenario is when the amount of the source material is quite large to copy it on the disk. So here we have our material just got linked with the EDL. Everything is in green. I can switch to thumbnails view so I can get a better idea of the identity of my clips. Everything looks neat and clean here. So I'm just gonna take a look at our timeline. As you can see, my events here got populated with thumbnails, and right now all I need to do is start grading. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and see you on the next one.